From candy seller to a burglar. I'd always thought that people who often insist that you call before stopping by were just not very friendly. However, I've come to realize that my theory is very far from the truth. It's scary when you hear your doorbell ring and you don't know who's ringing it. This lady came out to her house to meet a supposed candy seller who appeared to be in his 20s. From the camera, we see that there was a transaction, and maybe the woman was waiting to get the candy she bought because her door remained open. A group of 3 men then saw that as a cue to go into her home and steal from her. At first, the candy seller tried to act like he didn't know what was going on by looking stunned and taking a few steps back, but he soon comes forward, wears a mask, and joins his group. It turns out that it was all a setup. Initially, I thought he was going to alert the neighbors or call the police or something, but after seeing the recording, I concluded that he probably just wanted to scan the area to be sure that none of the neighbors were in plain sight. Anyway, the group robbed the lady and carted some of the belongings away. The lady most likely reported the incident because authorities found out that the candy seller had actually been to 2 houses where he wasn't answered before going to the lady's house. She might have fallen for his disguise, but I don't doubt that it will take a while for her to trust neighborhood candy sellers again. Number 1. Man attempts setting a house on fire. Sometime in March of 2019, a man walked up to the front door of a house in the middle of the night, thinking no one was watching. He began to empty the keg of fuel he brought with him directly at the entrance of the house. After he had saturated the entrance to his satisfaction, this man lit some matches in an attempt to set the fueled entrance on fire. After several attempts, nothing happened. There was no fire, not even smoke. Defeated, the man left the front door and walked back to wherever he came from with his keg in hand. It turned out that the woman and her 2 children were the occupants of the house the man had been trying to burn down. When the woman found the footage, she immediately reported it to the police. Surprisingly, the man lived right across the street, and the woman claimed that she didn't know who he was and why he was trying to hurt her and her family. Meanwhile, the house didn't burn down because the man had actually been pouring diesel fuel and not gasoline on the entrance. While both of them are very dangerous, the latter is even more dangerous and highly flammable. And for the record, if the man had used gasoline, he probably wouldn't have lived to tell the tale. According to him, he was doing what he did because he thought he saw a ghost, which makes no sense if I say so myself. Anyway, he was later charged with attempted murder and arson.